Many people often wonder if we as priests practice the sacrament of reconciliation. Another word for that is confession. Do we really go to confession as priests? Absolutely. We are sinners and human just like everyone else. I've been asked how often I go to confession or how often priests go to confession. I tend to go at least once a month. In one of my other vlogs, I talked about how people believe that the Virgin Mary appears to them in this small town called Medjugorje. Medjugorje is located in Bosnia-Herzegovina in Eastern Europe, and a lot of people there have said that Mary has made it clear to them that she would like them to go to confession at least once a month. When I go to confession, I always tend to leave that experience with a renewed sense of myself and a sense of being healed. So I try to go at least once a month. Some people only go once a month. Some people go every couple of weeks. Some people may go once a week. And we have others that may only go once or twice a year, possibly around the holidays or Easter. It varies among everybody. However, the Catholic Church kind of teaches us that we really should go to confession at least once a year. And that's according to Catholic doctrine. But at the same time, the Church always teaches us that confession only once a year might not be as healthy for our spirit as if we went more often. I'd like you to think about taking a shower. If you only took a shower once a month or every 2 weeks, would that be good? Absolutely not. Or if you only showered once a week, still that's not so great. Most of us tend to shower every day and we feel much better. Confession works the same way. If we only go once a year or 2 times a year, is that going to help us feel the way we need to feel? Probably not. At least we're going. Some people go 4 or 5 times a month. Some people go every week. Now suppose a person takes a shower and they're out walking around and they fall into this huge mud puddle. They get all dirty. They have to come back home and take a shower again. So think about this in terms of how the Church talks about confession. We go to confession, and if we can commit a mortal sin, now a mortal sin is considered something like murder, adultery, or any of the big serious sins. If we commit a mortal sin, then, if we really need to then go to confession and confess that mortal sin. Here's an example. If I'm going to confession every month, and I've just finished going, and then a day or 2 later I commit some type of mortal sin, I may have the attitude where I'll wait until next month when I go to confession and confess it at that time. Really shouldn't do that. The longer we hold on to mortal sin, the more it distances us from God and from the Church. And there are some people who don't commit mortal sins. They feel that they don't need to go to confession very often. Well, then the Church then says, that's fine, but according to Catholic doctrine, again, you are required to go at least once a year, maybe around Easter time. Why do they have to go? Because the Church sees confession as one of the most wonderful gifts that we have received from Jesus Christ. Confession is where we are able to accept God's grace, and God helps us to live our lives as Christians, and by going to confession, we are able to do that much better. Let's compare confession to, for example, a drain pipe. If you get a clogged pipe in your sink, what do? You pour Drano or some type of pipe cleaner down it, and it clears the drain so that water can freely flow. Confession works the same way. Our pipes get clogged with sin. Confession cleans out our pipes so that we can be one with God and one with other people. It's also important to remember that every time we go to confession, and it doesn't matter whether it's a mortal sin or a regular sin, it's important that we truly are contrite about our sin, or that we're truly regretful and sorry. If we go to confession and we're really not, God can see through that, and we don't receive true absolution. If we're truly sorry and truly contrite, then it's through that act that God can pardon us and forgive us. The sacrament of reconciliation truly is one of the most wonderful gifts that Jesus gave the church. It gives us an experience of being present with God, feeling God's forgiveness, and being healed. I hope that people watching our vlogs feel much more inspired to go to confession on a more regular basis. Thank you to all of you, and God bless.